Welcome! We have something new and this is what we're going to make. Production Music Live has once again teamed up with Orchestral tools to create wonderful, inspiring sound sources. A group of electronic music artists took all available Orchestral tools sample libraries and created tonal and atonal percussion loops, atmospheres, as well as melodic and harmonic themes. We started this series 2 years ago, and for the first collaboration we sat down with Böhmer, who made a track from scratch using these sounds. Hey guys, I'm Francois from Production Music Live. In today's video we're making a beat from scratch using sounds from our collaboration with Orchestral tools, so it's going to be sample heavy. Keep that in mind. By the way, we have a free taster pack where you can try out some of these sounds and you'll find the link in the description of this video. I have a bunch of sounds prepared already, a kick and a tom. And I have a few instruments set up already. Here a bass sound, very sustained bass sound, also a pad sound, and 2 more lead sounds. So these are the sounds we're going to work with, but we are going to look for a song starter in Acoustic Melodic 4. And I kind of like going into the tonal percussions. So let's take a look inside. So basically we are looking for a theme. That was nice. We also have textures in here, by the way. So for example, I mean, look at this one here. This is a nice song start. But I want to try a different one. I also like this one here. And we could do something different. We could do... So I'm going to loop this quickly. I think I have a sidechain here, so I'm going to quickly pick that one up and put it behind it. I'm not going to worry about the clicks right now. And then go. And this one, I want to take an octave down here. So this element, let's go in there and pitch it down an octave. And take it to tones. And we need to fix the overlap quickly. Copying this one over and slightly coloring this differently here, so I can remember this was a variation. And now we can take down the low cut here. And we can also mess around with some of our free rags that you can find on our website, PML rags. And let's try the texturizer. Or some high fuzz. Yeah, and pan it a bit from left to right so it moves a bit in the stereo spectrum. Okay, and I'm going to try and find some chords for this pattern quickly. And I can go and find them with capture. Drag this out here, so it should be there. Quickly fix the MIDI. A bit too early here. I'm going to insert another note. And G here. And what was that? So. Yeah, nice. And then again, we use this as well. Or we can also go. Yeah. I like this. Very nice. So I use the MIDI keyboard to play these notes with an A-flat Lydian here, and usually at this point I tweak the chords for a little while. And so I'm going to skip forward to right after that happens, so see you in the future. So here we are in the future, chords are cleaned up a little, those start an octave higher now. So that's the idea, and I want to start that only together with this theme here, and then bring the bass in and play the pads an octave lower. But let's quickly take a look at the sound first of Diva. We haven't looked at it yet. It's Organica film score lead from Organica 1. Super nice sound by Yannick Mounts. And we're rolling off low end here, cutting some mids. There's a filter for automation, so we can automate it later. And also we have this mid-side EQ here where we are rolling off low end in the middle and boosting the highs on the sides. And then just a sidechain compressor behind it. And when we go to the next 16 bars, we're playing it an octave lower. Wonderful sound. And we're combining that with the sustained bass here. And that one has a little bit of a glide. So let's quickly take a look at this sound in solo. The glide is up here, and otherwise we're just playing a saw wave all the way up and run through a filter. And then, you know, activate the releases here and test out how much release time you want on the sound. But altogether, we also want to keep this theme of the track from Acoustic 4 here. So basically, so I think this is a good foundation now, and now we can put in some percussion and hi-hats and stuff. Go to Organica 4, also one of our best series here, and let's look for atmospheres. Okay, let's test this one. A rainy day inside the studio. Much more quiet. Roll off some low end here. And I'm also copying over a sidechain quickly behind it. And I also see the sample gets louder over time. So let's quickly pick up a utility and adjust for this slightly. As it gets louder, we are taking down the volume a little. And as it gets quieter towards the end, we bring it back up. maybe even quieter. Okay, and let's look for something like a clap. Yeah, into the treasure box. This one is kind of cool. So MIDI track, and let's load it up. So quickly creating a MIDI clip here. I want this one to hit early, and then I want it to hit late. And maybe we can take the sample a bit later here. And also roll off some low end on that one. And maybe add in a drum bus and see if we can boost some high frequencies here. And bring up the transients a bit. Mixing down. Add in a bit more drive. Also going to call this clap here. Just cutting a bit more here. And let's see what else we find in the treasure box. And this one is a nice sound as well. So let's make another MIDI track and bring this one in here, different color maybe. And just towards the end of the pattern, somewhere here maybe. Something like this. Bring it down. I'm going to call it bloop. Copying over a low cut. And also rename this one to bloop. And maybe take it over to the right a little. And what does it sound like pitched up? Yeah, maybe like this. Okay, and maybe some hi-hats on top of that, the Premium 7, and we have some cool hat loops here. So we're kind of looking for something a little more deep. Okay, let's try this one, and I want to start bringing this one in a second 16 bars. Maybe also a bit lower here. You can actually use this vocoder trick where we are putting the vocoder on top of it and giving it a different type of color. Play around with the dry wet and play it together. And maybe this one can be set to transients follow, and we bring this down to have just the transients and less of the busy action. Okay, let's copy over a sidechain. And copy over the claps and the Atmos. We had an automation in here, so I'm just making a copy of the curve as well. And actually we can start this one a bit early, so we could be here like this. And maybe we can support it with a shaker, so let's take a look at shakers. Yeah, maybe a quicker one could work. So putting this one here, also bringing it down. And again, let's take a look at the transients. Yeah. Maybe also some auto pan. I like the dizziness. And we can roll off some of the high end here. And there's still room for an offbeat hi-hat or something. So, or maybe you can actually take a one shot here. So hi-hats and the one shots. Yeah, maybe a super short one could do. So I'm bringing this in here, typical hi-hat pattern. So just the third, always bringing this down a bit more and copying this over. EQ, low cut quickly. Yeah, there's this one, taking this one a bit down. And I'm still looking for percussion and a high drone type element. So let's go back to Acoustic 4. Let's look for percussion loops here. Yeah, nice. By Juven. Yeah, let's add a sidechain on top of this one as well. Just to make sure the transients don't interfere too much with our kicks. And so this percussion loop is playing a bit to the right. You can see that here. So we could go ahead and take our... This one also looks a bit to the right, so let's move it to the left slightly. So these guys together. Let's look for an atmosphere. By the way, we also have nice arpeggios. This was nice as well. This might work. It's a bit deep though. Let's bring it down first and then bring it up an octave and set it to tones. And also take off a lot of the low end here. Still sounds weird, but we can throw some reverb on top. Oh, let's first find the right key, actually. A bit down. 2 semitones down. And let's look for reverb quickly. Yeah, let's wash it out a bit. Let's actually move the reverb before and then clean up the frequencies. Can do a mid-side EQ here and move the low frequencies, remove them from the middle. And also auto pan, so it moves nicely around your ears. And also, this is one of those things we can bring in over time. So this one builds up over these bars. So it's basically almost inaudible in the beginning, but it builds up tension over the whole bar. And maybe we can add in a tape reverb behind the reverb. It's getting louder again, so I'm bringing it down even further. And also copying the sidechain over to this one. So it has a bit of tail. Okay, so can actually copy this one in here as well, and this might also work here. Okay, so we have these two parts now, and I want to add in a third part before a breakdown can happen or something like that. So let's copy over all these elements, and I want to add in a little more energy, even if this is more laid back track, and also add in a couple of synths here. But let's look for a few more elements, maybe go back to the tonal percussion loops. This one might work. Tim Engelhardt. I don't know, is it too much? Well, if it's in the back, I think it works, and I'm just going to roll off. We can also send this around in our stereo spectrum just a little. And also apply a little bit of reverb here, very short decay time. Actually, this sound here is kind of a song starter in itself. You can imagine a completely different song. And maybe also find a second clap sample or something, but I'm going back to Deep Premium, our drum sample pack for this one, and I'm going to look for claps. Or maybe in the percussions, actually. Oof. This one is also nice. Duplicating this track, but deleting these, and let's call it clap 2. And replace this sound here. Take off the drum bass. So this one is a bit late. So let's try to figure out where we need to put it. And let's actually not play these delayed parts or these early and delayed parts here. Let's actually just play exactly, because then we have this. And we can also send this a little bit into the reverb here. And we can also add in another shaker, basically sitting on top of this one here. So I'm making a quick copy and taking off all of this stuff. Loops, shaker loops. This one is just this additional shaker you can throw in. And maybe this one needs a compressor, a sidechain. All right, so let's quickly hear the difference. Let's actually turn this one off here. Bring this one down a bit. Nice. So this is what we have so far. High synths. Bass coming in low synth, more shakers, more percussion elements. And even more percussion elements. And now we can add in a bit more synth work. Alright, and I just messed around a bit. Don't want to make this video too long, but add in 2 more synth sounds and then have a basic arrangement so we have something to listen to. Basically, we are using the same MIDI notes here. I'm just copying over those elements. We just have different synth sounds. So this one here is Organica, beautiful Tears lead, super nice sound, has this LFO tail. And we have this bright white one here. This is so beautiful. And this one is from Tim Engelhardt Pad 05. So these are in our Diva bundle if you want to go look for them. And I'm adding those in. I want to support our pad here and actually take it out towards the end. So let's listen in. By the way, I'm going to dial down this texture, this high grain here. I'm going to bring this down a bit. Just keep that in the back and now it's an octave higher and has this wobbly tail. Okay, and this one is going to keep playing along, and then also we will have this one. Slightly turning this one up. And here they're playing alone. So let's actually go to this part. I think we're going to repeat this one here to make a nice break here in a short time, but let's tie one together. We don't need the bass, but I want to have this element coming back. I'm not sure about the rain actually. Let's maybe take this Atmo here. Yeah, and bring the rain down. I mean, in an ideal world, we would now sit down and get rid of all these clicks, but this is taking some time, so I'm putting this clap in here. And now I'm taking the first part of the bright. Of the chords. Bring the frequency of this one up just slightly so you get this illusion of something else going to happen. The bass could do something reverse here. Let's take a look. Yeah, and it can do it here. Okay, I will take a look at that in a second. Now I want to copy over all of our elements again. Basically, we're dragging this whole section over to play here. And now I want to have like a bit of a climax element here. So yeah, maybe play G up here. And then yeah, we play these together now here. Bit of tension. And then, and not G, but F. Yeah. Okay, so let's quickly fix this. It's a bit too sudden, but maybe we can do something with the attack time here. Bring that up. That's nice. And this one up as well, just a little. Getting these waves in for the feels. Let's duplicate this. Nice. Okay, this element also gets the upper note. Sounds a bit weird here. F up. That was G up, F up, and now. And yeah. And probably this one hits a bit hard. And this guy, the bright one, added in. Yeah, we need more power. Same thing here, actually. And let's see if this works. Yeah, maybe I have to work with the filter. Okay, I think I need to make this a bit quieter. So this sound here requires an extra treatment with the utility now, because This one is getting quite powerful, and I'm just going to bring down the gain a little here. Maybe even 4. Okay, and copying in this part where it gets back to normal. One needs to stay. Doesn't really work that way. Yeah. You can also automate with a utility. Bring it down. Okay, so this might work. Let's listen to this one here. What if we bring this an octave up? Okay, let's bring it an octave down. But what happens if we double the notes? I kind of like this. I have to keep the time in mind, but I'm going to put a full playback at the end of the video. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little showcase beat from scratch here. If you want to check out the sounds, there are links in the description to Acoustic 4, Organica 4, the Premium 7, or all together if you want to learn melodic house. We have a full start to finish melodic house academy with start to finish and mixing, mastering, and some interviews with A&Rs. We also have the full everything bundle, always the best deal. And if you're getting these packs, that's a great way to support our work at productionmusiclive.com. Leave a comment what you want to see next. And thank you for your time and attention, and I'll talk to you again soon.